The honeybees have large families they call colonies. Each colony lives in a hive that they built, and there is as many as 60,000 bees in each colony. That's a lot of bees. There are 3 types of bees that live in the hive. One is the queen bee, and no, she does not wear a crown. Her job is to lay eggs, lots and lots and lots of eggs. Then there's the drone bee, which is the male bees, and they fertilize the eggs that the queen lays. Then there's another bee, the most important bee besides the queen, which is the worker bee. The worker bee does all the chores around the hive, and then they go out all day long while the sun's out, and they collect pollen and nectar. They bring home the pollen and nectar to feed the queen and the other bees and feed all the babies. They build the hive, which is the honeycomb. They protect the queen bee. They guard her against strangers or predators. They clean the hive, and they make all the honey from pollen. What they do is they get up in the morning while the queen is busy laying eggs and the drones are busy fertilizing. They fly around all day long until it gets dark. When it gets dark, just like us, they come home and they rest. They deposit the nectar and the pollen, and then they rest. And as soon as the sun comes up, they're back at it again. Have you ever heard the saying, busy as a bee? That's where the saying comes from. They go out all day long and collect the honey and take care of the hive, or collect the pollen and nectar and take care of the hive, and then come back and take care of the family. Now here is a picture of a honeybee. You can see here the legs that I was talking about. It's 3 body parts. It has 2 large wings and 2 smaller wings. You know when you hear a bee flying around you and you hear the buzz, buzz, buzz sound? That's those wings flapping so fast that it makes that buzzing sound. Here you see its little beak, and back here is its stinger. And the beak is what they use to probe inside the flower. And here's a really good picture of what one looks like. You can see all the hairs on its body and its legs. In fact, this one has a little pollen deposit on its leg. And here, my next picture is my son Danny in one of his bee suits. Doesn't he look cool? This suit protects the bees from getting to his face and stinging him, but a lot of times he doesn't even wear his outfit. He just goes with no protection at all. He's so used to it. And this picture shows what the hive looks like. This is the hive, or the honeycomb. These are the worker bees filling up the little combs with the nectar that they're going to turn into honey and the pollen. Here, if you look closely, are the worker bees, and if you look very closely, you can see the queen bee in the mix of them. The queen bee looks quite different from the worker bees. She doesn't really have stripes. She's longer, and she keeps busy laying eggs all day long. Here you see the honeybee with his beak going into the flower and sucking out the nectar. If you look really closely, you see all the pollen this busy bee has collected on its body, and that's going to take, and he's going to take, or she, excuse me, they are females, the worker bees. She is going to take that back to the honey, or the hive, and then with all their hard work, this is what comes out of it. This yummy, yummy honey. It's so delicious. Not only is honey delicious, it has a lot of medicinal uses too, which means it can be used as medicine. It can be used for your sore throat. The honey soothes your sore throat, and it has antibacterial agents in it that heal your throat. It's also great if you have a cough. I find that it works even better than cough medicine. And it also can be put on, if you have an owie, if you put the honey or a substance called Meta honey you can get from your doctor, it will heal your owie super duper fast. So that's our lesson about bees today. If you want to find out more about bees, take a walk with family while we're all out of school, and you'll see them bouncing or flying around to flower, and now you'll know what they're doing. Don't be afraid of them. If one ever comes up to you and is buzzing around your head, Just stand very, very still, and eventually it will fly away. Have a great day. Go watch some bees.